Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Thank you for the 15 gifted. Holy crap. Thank you for the... Oh, yeah. Valorant. I was like, who? Thank you, Danish. I forgot that Valorant was doing a gifted thing, too. I was so confused. I see one gifted from Valorant. Hello, hello. Good morning. Hi, we're here. Hello, hello. Hello, Ube. Hello, Soul Wilder. Hello, Lorian. Hi, Every. Hi, Jaren. Hi. Who else is in here? Jun. And Zeb. And Moogie. Did I miss anyone? I'm guessing Nimby's here too. I can't see Nimby. Nimby's always here. Hello, Clock. Welcome here. Welcome here. Welcome in. Welcome in here. How is everyone doing? How's everyone's hump day so far? Wednesday. Middle of the week. Middle of the week, you're like sat in the middle of the 2 weekends. This is the worst day of the week. I hate Wednesdays. Arknights event kicking my ass. They nerfed it too, right? I hope it doesn't kick my ass. I know you didn't struggle too hard with Kanto's 7 o'clock. You just breezed through it. So if it's kicking your ass, I feel like I'm gonna have the worst time ever. I hate nervous impairment. I hate it in Arknights. I feel like I'm gonna hate it in Limbus Company too. They nerfed it? Oh, you're in hard mode. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch hard mode. Excuse me, let me just, I need a cough drop. I'm gonna close the door too. 1 sec. Every time I get out of my chair, my cat thinks that I'm going out the door to play with him, but I don't. So he doesn't realize that. He runs out and he sits there right in front of the door and then I close the door on him. The poor guy. The poor guy getting baited. Not sure how I feel about collab content in Limbus still, but the Arknights event was interesting enough. I love it. I love it. I think it brings a lot more eyes into the game. A lot of my friends who play Arknights are like, I think I'm gonna install Limbus Company for the first time. And they're like, Ark, you play Limbus Company, right? Can you like tell me what the game's about? So like, Arknights itself is kind of, I feel like it's almost run its course. It kind of has for a lot of people because it's getting very long. Even though they try to... I mean, Chapter 15 for Arknights is one of the best ones, but it's like nearing the end. That's why it's so good, because they're kind of wrapping everything together. They're finally answering all the questions that was introduced in the beginning of the game. And so like, for people who are playing Arknights, they're like, okay, I can tell that this game is about to end, or at least the main story, the main arc. And they're willing to like not jump ship, but like try other stuff. I think Limbus Company is the game that they're trying to get into right now. I think with the city being a place where anything happens, it's alright enough. You can always decide it's not canon. Oh, with the lore and stuff, it's interesting. I don't know how. I'm still in the beginning. I don't know how they're integrating the lore, shoving the lore in. It doesn't make sense from an Arknight's perspective, like a random door that appeared out of nowhere. It's so... like... uncanon? Not canon? Very uncanon-like? Very OOC? With the event being the last thing you need to do to catch up, I'm trying to know what to do. I decide what I want to do next. Just take a break. Take a break until new content comes up. I think it's fine. I think Limbus Company is one of those games where like that's what I appreciate about it. I will always come back to it because I'm like, if I were to take a break, I know if I were to come back, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get hit with like 5,000 notifications about like, I don't know, all the previous events that I missed, right? Arknights is fun. Arknights will always be... Like, Arknights is another game that doesn't hit you with 5,000 notifications. And all the side stories and events are still available. They become permanent events, so it's just there. Should I torture myself with another gacha? I should play TFT. Maybe? I remember getting stuck. Just borrow units. It's like how I've been borrowing people's fluid sack. Non-canon AK timeline, but it's probably somewhere between Tides and Stultifera. I can't pronounce that word still. Maybe. It's definitely in Stultifera, but the dimensional door makes no sense. Like, that makes no sense to me. The Arc Grippers? Who? There was no feet on stream. I don't know what you're talking about. Grippers? Or you can't just go, Hoyo auto chest, you're swishing one evil for another. It's... There's nothing evil about TFT. If anything, it's a good, like, way for me to relax a little bit. Because I'm like, okay, a game's just 40 minutes. I timed my games exactly. Like, I literally woke up at 8 a.m. and then I got ready for the morning, and then it was, by the time I was done, it was like 8:50, and I was like, I literally have 40 minutes right now before I start streaming. So I went and I played one game, and it was actually exactly 40 minutes, and then I started to stream. It's so good. Like, you can time your day from it. Like, with a lot of gacha games, you're like, I don't know how long I'm gonna take playing this game. I'm not gonna, or for other games as well, you're like, I don't know how long this is gonna take, right? For TFT, one full game, if you get first place, like what happened to me, it's exactly 40 minutes. Because the game itself, the rounds are timed. Like, there's a time limit for each round. It's not an addiction. I can stop at any time. I said that yesterday. Literally in chat yesterday. I don't know, like my group DMs with my friends, it was me going, I love TFT, I hate TFT, I love TFT, I hate TFT. And my housemate just like got up this morning to go to work, and they were like, they're like looking at my monitor going, oh my god, you're addicted, and they left. It sucks. It sucks, but whatever. I'll get up to like diamond rank, and then I'll stop. I peek in and I sleep soon. Good luck on pulls. Goodbye, Seal. Thank you very much. I am doing single pulls now. I only have enough for single pulls. Where is it? You guys can't hear any sound. That's cool, because I can't hear anything either. There we go. Alright. We're in. Face the sin, save the ego. You swiped today? I swiped too for Emiya. I was like, I'll support this collab. I'll swipe it for Emiya, and that's it. That's all I'm getting. For tickets? For level tickets? No. Oh. Or are we getting a 10 pull? Wait, hold on. So we're not just doing single pulls, we're doing 10 pulls. Thank you, Project Moon. I knew they got us. I love this game, guys. 360 pulls and only one ego. That happened to a lot of people who were messaging me too. I got a few DMs going, I feel like killing myself. And I'm like, it's fine. It's okay. You don't need to get it. It's just pixels, guys. It's just pixels. Even I don't care as much. I play Arknights and I play Limbus Company. I play Arknights is my main game, guys. Even I don't care that much. Don't worry, it's fine. You don't need it. You really don't need it. You don't need it. Okay. Please turn blue. No! Just for the bragging rights. Maybe for me it's just copium. Maybe I'm just like, I never get anything good anyway. So does it matter? No. You got mine? Wow. Wow, what a flex. Stop flexing on me. You know, let's just do some single pulls. I think we'll be fine. I'm so thankful I've been saving since full stop whelp. Because I'm dire need of egos. I'm missing a lot of stuff too, but the fact that I can still clear main story content tells me that I'm still okay. That I'm still doing fine. Clock, do you want to get timed out? I'm going to time you out again. I'm so mad. Oh my god. Why would you tell me that? Now I have to... This better turn blue. I need to get one thing at least. I'm not going to get anything. Looks like you do care, Ark. Look, I didn't care until Clock was like, oh my god, there were 900 pulls. Yeah, screw you too. It's not blue dabba-dee but dabba-da. It's not. Is this a... There's one more. Okay, this is the last one. We have to get something. Right. Cross my fingers. Hope I don't smash my screen. Something's gonna die tonight. One of my monitors. I'm a punching bag so you guys don't have to be. I do it for you guys. I'm gonna make it so that Twitch starts thinking that your account is sus. I'm gonna start timing you out every single day. Alright. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need it anyway. I've been telling myself that this entire time. I don't need the egos anyway. I'm good. Okay, pilgrimage of compassion. I'm good. I love this image so much. Can I just... Is this available on the Google Drive? I need this as a wallpaper. It is? Oh, heck yeah. Is it under side stories? Are you winning, Ark? No. No, in order to win, I have to get all 3 egos. And I was not getting all 3 egos. Hello, Cube. You have to put them together, at least for the animation. That's true, it's parallax, right? That's what I noticed too when I was trying to find a background for YouTube thumbnail, is that the distance between the tip of the boat and the giant thing in the star, the black hole in the star, in every single picture I found, it was in varying distances. And I was like, I need one to be exactly the same, and I couldn't find one. I had to Photoshop everything together. Want me to grab it for you? It's fine. I found it already. I just want one for a wallpaper now. I just need... Wait, with nothing on it, like no words? Because I'll take that one if you have it. Alright, Terra. Ooh, we're in Arknights. So what happened last time? We went to the ruined village. The old man seemed sus. They're usually sus. They're probably doing something suspicious in order to survive. But I don't blame them. That's how it usually is in Arknights. Everything's morally gray. Someone in the wiki probably found it already. I hope so. We walked past a few narrow buildings and remnants of narrow buildings. We walked past a few narrow buildings and remnants of narrow buildings before we came across a large hall enough to house all 15 or so of us. Okay, now we're ready. With the curtains on the window removed, the smoke is an exit. Whoa, I thought we were doomed to shudder ourselves to sleep with the soaking wet firewood and all. I had no idea that'd work. I just have to get a small fire going underneath it until the wood dries up and catches fire. The downside being all this smoke. It's clear that she has some field experience, unlike some fools I know. I shan't sit here and let her carry the burden of labor alone. Bequeath upon me thine ingredients, young Rodion, for I shall conquer thee a pot of special fixer soup. You are making soup with cookies and jelly? Small Bonnet. No. You're not getting anyone into the kitchen again, not after what you cooked up last time. Well, I must admit to a certain level of interest. As many of our fellow Viscera era are oft racked with intense agony upon ingesting dishes of your making. Perhaps it would be wiser that we save the occasion for a safer environment. Right. Don't you remember? We agreed to leave cooking to Mer or Audi if we're ever in a situation like this, remember? When did she call Merceau and Audis Mer and Audi? Anyways, Rodin's really cute. I think, if anything, as we progress through the stories, through the cantos, through the intervallos, the dialogue of the sinners are getting like, they're being more catered towards their characters. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but because I'm sometimes voicing out the lines, I noticed that Yi Sang's voice lines are getting a lot more difficult to read. They're getting a lot more flowery, and Rodion's are getting a lot more cute. She's always been a nicknamer? What, really? But she's never called them Mirror and Audi before, has she? Did we? I see, it's become sort of unspoken rule after everything that happened. Remember? Back during last year's cooking contest at K-Corp? They were the only two people who managed to get remotely positive reviews. Oh, does that mean we get to try Audis' cooking once again? Denied. We still have plenty of high-calorie foods like cookies and jellies here. I find no reason to do something so inefficient. I'm glad to see that everyone's still energetic, given the circumstances. It can't be easy to suddenly wake up in an unfamiliar environment. For Greg and Verge, I've seen those ones, yeah. And Heath, yeah, for sure. But this is the first time I've seen Mur and Audi. 1 second, I'm gonna cough my... Okay, I'm good. Well, we're all quite used to getting thrown into unfamiliar places. Speaking of which, did you manage to reach your colleagues, Amiya? And Chiquita? Is that what she calls Dawn? I remember Chiquita. I forgot who it was, though. She shook her head, concerned. I want to see Doctor. I want to see Doctor! They might have lost their comms devices, or maybe they ran into some other trouble. Could they be in danger? Oh my god, it's Rem. Hello, welcome in. I don't know, but I'm sure they're okay. The doctor, Dr. Cal said they're both more than capable enough to look after themselves. Long have this curiosity lingered within me. Thus allow me to inquire. Corporations are, by their nature, organizations in pursuit of profit. Yet, the activities of your corporation resembles those of charity organizations, as opposed to a pharmaceutical company. Is there aught that might explicit this blurred distinction? I want to know too. How come a pharmaceutical company like Rhodes Island helping people? Something about what Honglu said brings back unpleasant memories. The horrible experiment seen through the cascade of flowing tears in the face of suffering, the embodiment of greed that left a terrible wound in Honglu's fathoms. The pharmaceutical companies I've seen in my journey were corporations that, despite possessing the capacity to heal, chose to obsess over the profit it can provide. There are many in Terra who are suffering from a disease. The disease crystallizes you, it spreads deeper and deeper into the infected internal organs, and eventually culminating in their death. It's called neuropathy. Mia showed me the back of her right hand, dotted by what appeared to be obsidian crystallizations. I love the difference in morals shown between the two worlds. Yeah, they're somewhat similar too, which is why I love how they have a collab together. Its appearance reminded me of the bio-treatment from the back streets, but there was something more to it. Something more restless, more sinister. I think the only difference really is like the main cast, because in Arknights, Rhodes Island is, they're kind of being like thrown as like the savior of people. They're also centrists, whereas the sinners are just like, yeah, we're just here on a mission. We're just here to collect the golden boughs, that's it. It's a terrible, painful disease, but there hasn't been any recorded cases of full recovery. But there's an even worse problem. Pray tell, what could possibly be worse than an incurable deadly disease? Well, it varies region by region. Discrimination against the infected is widespread across Terra. Those who suffer from it must face unfair treatment. Yeah, racism, that's what Arknights is. Yusan began with dark expression. Some are quarantined in places with terrible, inhumane conditions, and there have been massacres too. I don't mean to be callous, but what is this oropathy highly contagious? What is this oropathy highly contagious? No, there hasn't been any recorded cases of infections by contact, as long as the subjects are alive. But when the infected dies, the crystal growths in their body decay and turn to dust, scattering, which is what spreads the plague. Then, barring environments like active battlefields where casualties are to be expected, staying within close proximity of the infected in daily life seems to pose hardly any risk. So what's the problem then? They're already past the point of caring about what the problem is. Once people start feeling iffy, all logic goes out the window. Then Rhodes Island's goal has to be... Yes, it is important to develop a cure for oropathy, but I think what really matters is that we change the circumstances for the better for the infected. I remember downloading Arknights and oropathy mod in RimWorld, and it just absolutely kills my run every time oropathy starts spreading. You gotta make a Rhodes Island. You gotta contain it somehow. I actually don't know how they contain an Arknights. I don't think they even contain it at all. They just start fighting each other and then they die. They get segregated. The racism. It's not going to be an easy endeavor though. That is what gives your effort more meaning. I hope you can achieve that goal, Mia. I really do. For truth. The city, this world, we both live in a world full of surprises, don't we? What kind of world did it come from, this city? What kind of place is the city anyway? Ooh. The kind of place with too many pointless rules. The kind of place where the moment you think isn't is too much, you see something even worse. Try as I might, I couldn't think of a single positive thing about the city. The sinners seemed to be in agreement, as most of what came after was quite scathing. It's considered pollution in RimWorld, but the infection rate goes from 0.5% to 80% in oropathy polluted tiles. That's a massive difference. You would have to like prepare yourself just for that one single infection. Because you think that like, I can imagine playing through that game and I'm like, yeah, I'm just chilling, I'm just relaxing, and then suddenly all hell hits. And you're like, I don't have enough supplies, I don't have enough resources, oh, this sucks. The kind of place where good deeds rarely ever go unpunished, where sympathy is a good attitude to have if you like getting stabbed in the back. Nothing good ever works out here. It's a shite hole. It's an irrational place full of absurdities. Absurdity is an omnipresence. Mod gives you access to overpowered operators, so it's almost always worth it. It sounds pretty fun though. I kind of want to try it. Do you love the city you live in? I love that guy. Hello Mini Mano, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Therefore, it's not a subject by which one should be aggrieved. We can at least rouse them about them, though. I mean, it's the only thing we can do. It would be more correct to experience more and acclimatize oneself to it instead of complaining. You did say something like that last time. Shut up, clock. Ah! Just as the mood was starting to turn rather sour, Don Quixote's shout shattered through the awkwardness. Do you want a cupcake? From FBI? Sure, I'll take one. Verily, nary a day goeth by untarnished by villains and their fell deeds. Yet, worry thee not, for where evil riseth, so doth fixers of justice too. Don Quixote jumped from her seat and passionately shook her fist, which was followed by a heavy crack and the sound of small pebbles tumbling down. Oh, what's happening here? Mir really is a suffering builds character kind of guy. I love him so much. He's starting to become one of my favorite sinners. I never liked him before, but I don't know, just the fact that he doesn't talk much and that he's just like a giant dog that does everything on command is hilarious. I think it was time killing time that made me really like him. Don Quixote, watch out! Whoa! Oh, who's that? New character. And from behind the wall, she accidentally broke down. An unfamiliar visage of a villager appeared and stared back at Don Quixote. It appeared that she was eating something out of a can while reading a book. It's so interesting to see different races in the art style of Limbus Company. I'm like, an elf? An elf? I'm like, wait, elves are pretty normal in Arknights. But seeing them in the Limbus Company art is pretty cool. Best girl spotted? Her? My favorite Mer moment is the time-killing time when he gets on the gallows. Me too. Me too. After that one scene, I was like, yeah, he's cool. How farest thou? Fareth thy foot. You gotta apologize first. Last seemed a tad too hyper today. Apologies, for I hardly expected the wall to crumble with such ease. Art thou unhurt? Any injuries? To? Pray tell. To what? Forget the apology. I just want to know what happens next. The Fixers of Justice rose up to do what? Oh, has thou come to me to hear the tales of Fixers? I don't know about coming to us, given how Miss Don Quixote was the one who punched the wall down. Oh, is it too late an hour? I don't mind waiting till morning if you want to sleep. Nay, not at all. 'Tis quite early an hour for tales, in fact. Prithee, seat thyself here. You ungovernable fool, calm down. You don't even know who she is. Mayor is so cute, big fan of her. Is that who she is? You're talking about, like, another mayor. It's so good. I didn't expect much from this event, but it really came through. I'm excited. I'm excited for more. And don't you forget to share these Fixer tales over there in the corner to not disturb our sleep. Thou maketh the request most untenable. Those tales deserve to be announced to the world with great gusto from the center. That's the best way to hear those kinds of stories. But we should probably introduce ourselves to each other first. Name's Mayor. I'm... How should I put this? Did you meet the village chief earlier during the day? He's my gramps. Oh, that guy. So he has a granddaughter. Yet I have not seen you once, Miss Mayor, under the sun. Oh my, you're right. I thought the village was completely dried of any young blood. Like Brodia said, while we didn't see mayors out there, there wasn't anyone else in the village we could comfortably call young. You're telling me Gramps was worrying over nothing and told me to stay put inside. Going on and on about the dangers that the outsiders pose and everything. It seems that they do not give faith to the saviors. There are other things that you cannot share even with whom you trust with your life. Though, I would like to know why. My, so there are a bunch of other kids who are stuck indoors in this village? No, there isn't anyone around my age in the village at all. If that's the case, I guess I can understand why he'd be so overprotective. Anyways, it's our turn. We are? I'm good. I heard enough to get an idea. That's so rude. I would just be like, at least I want to know your names. You did? Oh? Pray, how did thou hear us? Sorry. Cough drop in my mouth. Via the listening device most secret upon a chamber? Mayors tapped the side of the wall. The part of it was still standing anyway and smiled ironically. Your song has 21k views? That's awesome. Yeah, thanks! I didn't realize it would get that high of a view count. But this is Isaac we're talking about, so I'm like not even... I'm like surprised, but I'm not surprised at the same time. Hello, Bad Gamer. Welcome in. Oh yeah! Speaking of song, the collab is like on my front page on YouTube now, because YouTube just released a collab feature. Sorry. I'm chewing on this cough drop. It just broke in my mouth. Let me just finish this. Drink some water and some coffee. I don't want any remnants of the cough drop in my teeth because that's how we get cavities. It's Isaac's most viewed song. His most viewed song is actually a collab that he did with other creators, but he did it like years and years ago. I think that one had like 200k views, and he said that was his most terrible song that he've ever done, like the worst mix. And he's like, I don't know how it got 200,000 views. And he hates it so much. He's like, I wish I could just remove it, but because it's the most viewed one, I have to keep it up there. Bad soundproofing. I could hear pretty much everything Don Quixote, right? Everything Don Quixote practically sang during the day. Verily, I see. I think it could really do with some sense of embarrassment for once. Well, I guess that's good enough for self-introduction, so... Care to regale me with the tales of fixers who bring justice to the evils of the city? Oh, look at her sparkling eyes, that's so cute. Indubitably. Then, this shall do. I shall regale thee with the tales in which the legendary fixer, the Ark Magnificence herself, the Red Mist, hath... The Red Mist... I suppose that killed any hope for a good night's skip. But, don't you usually pass out within minutes of your back hitting the hay, no matter how noisy things are? Thank you for the follow, Arubatorion. Arubatorion, welcome in. What? Do you take me for some kind of hibernating bear or something? Look, even I have trouble sleeping when there's noise all over. The red mist, not the red piss. The red piss is just blood. You have bladder problems if there's red piss coming out of your body. Go see a doctor. I'd say bear in hibernation is a pretty apt descriptor. Yeah. Red piss, yeah. God damn it. Go see doctor, yeah. Yeah. With that grumbling and moaning, he dozed out before any of us did. Yeah. Aside from Heathcliff, yeah, we began snoring the moment his head touched the ground, yeah. Some other sinners were fast asleep as well, yeah. Mirso had entered sleep in his usual steadfast adherence in the routine, yeah. While Faust laid claim to one of the few available cloth sheets as soon as the close of business for the day was confirmed, yeah. The sinners who had spent the entire last night searched for me in the unfamiliar land slowly began to fall asleep as well, nya. Meanwhile, the fixers of this wise association's first section. Through the night was no longer young, nya. Don Quixote was still vigorously sharing the tales of adventures without even a single sign of fatigue, nya. She's not determined to do this until sunrise, nya. Is she, nya? I don't like this one bit, nya. Oh? I guess that's okay, since Mayor seems to be having fun, nya. As I continued to watch the pair, nya, with some mild concern, nya, Mia, not yet asleep, approached me, nya. This city Miss Don Quixote speaks of seems to be teeming with fixers of justice and exhilarating tales of adventures. Did you actually experience all of them yourselves? No, of course not. Don Quixote's stories are usually those with other famous people. But she's telling it with such vigor that it almost sounds like she was there herself. Well, I guess if you really want to get into it, some of them might be retelling of Don Quixote's personal experiences. Ishmael replied uncertainly, thinking back to the plays we made to watch back in La Mancha Land. Well, I think all those stories, even though they're only partially true, just go to show what a ridiculous place it can be. We wouldn't need fixers of justice to begin with if we really lived in a just world, right? A really good place to live would be quiet and peaceful without someone having to force it. That's true. I hope there'll come to a day when Rhodes Island can be a normal pharmaceutical company in the future. Something wrong? No, I just thought Miss Mayers and I made eye contact. Did she overhear our conversation? I looked to her direction as well. She's got some pretty big ears and pretty sure she can hear everything. But all I saw was Mayers excitedly reacting to Don Quixote's tales. Whoa! What happened then? Thus spake Lady Auris boldly before the soldiers who stood in our path. Thou presumest to stand in our path, servants of a master most unworthy. I, Auris, shall educate ye in how manner maketh. Don Quixote was now retelling the stories of Limbus Company's adventures in Hong Yuan, and I bestow upon you cursed knowledge. Look at Amimi's arms and realize it's strangely short. Amimi? Auris, who could no longer stand Don Quixote's unintentional alterations of the story, jumped to her feet and shouted. Damn it, what kind of nonsense are you feeding her? I never said anything like that. Verily, certain aspects of this retelling may have been exaggerated. That's tales of adventure for you. Things are bound to get a bit dry when a story is told too realistically, and as is, right? You know, nothing. Not even anything resembling a proper record or a book remained once the profound silence swept through this village. So I've always had a craving for these kinds of stories. But Iberia doesn't stop Iberians from emigrating, contrary to their tight immigration control. Hello, Ovepel. Welcome in. Have you ever thought about leaving this place? Still a challenge to cross the border, especially since we're going to have to pass through larger cities that are managed by the Inquisition. You don't seem particularly fond of this Inquisition. Why is that? That's because this village was formed by people who grew tired of living under the Inquisition's rule and fled. Sorry, but what kind of organization is this Inquisition? Sinclair asked, face turning cold upon hearing the word Inquisition, and that people fled from it. Sinclair's a funny guy. Yeah, that Nagel and Unhammer we saw back at Call aren't that kind of memories that are so easily forgotten. According to Dr. Kelsey, the Inquisition is what filled the power vacuum once Iberia fell into chaos. That its inquisitors are the rapier and the lamp-wielding protectors of Iberia's cities from lawlessness, That alone kind of makes them sound like good people, though. Yeah, they are, but there's the Church of the Deep. The Inquisition will go to whatever lengths to deal with incidents related to the church that worships Seaborns. Fee, an organization that worships those monsters? It seems that cultish fanaticism is a plague wherever you go. I feel like people with all kinds of wrong faiths and beliefs are so common. See, the Seaborns are the ones that messed Iberia up. So, following their logic, apparently, it's okay for them to arrest anyone who seemed even remotely connected to them. Are you saying that Iberia is like this because of the Seaborns? Those things from earlier? I guess they were kind of troublesome to deal with, but it didn't seem that strong. Anyway, it's just what I heard from Gramps, but Inquisition executed many young people too in the crusade against the Church of the Deep. For those who proclaim to be on the side of justice, they seem quite fond of committing such villainy. It seems that a reasonable policy decision to me, but it must pose a clear danger to the daily lives of civilians. Yeah, I heard he was the only survivor. I was the only survivor. Everyone in my family died. You must have had to endure such a long period of pain to be able to say something like that with such composure. For Iberia, they are heroes who bring the land back to its glory days. But to Gramps, they were just oppressors, making his life difficult. That's why we've all come here, fleeing from the Inquisition's gaze. Yet, wherefore hast thou decided to settle at a place that is so, run down? Indeed. Yeah, I know, but it's not so bad once you get used to it. Besides, we managed to find a new path, thanks to you guys. A new path? Well, it's getting late. Will you be repairing the ship tomorrow too? Are they thinking of going through the dimensional door? They're thinking of going into the city? This place really has no soundproofing at all, huh? Good talk, everyone. Hope we'll get another chance to do this tomorrow. After seeing Mayers to her own room, the sinners, those who were still up anyway, and I laid ourselves on the hard stone floor with only a thin layer of cloth between it and our backs. A mysterious world that is neither the city nor the outskirts. But it seemed that the lives its people led were just as difficult as they were anywhere else. The world is a difficult place to live in. No matter where you are. Vessel Massas. Ooh, I wonder what these things are. Ooh, I wonder what. Ooh. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Have you bought any games on Steam sale yet? I didn't. I didn't, but yesterday someone got me Guilty Gear Strive. So I was going through bits and pieces of the story yesterday. It's kind of fun. Yes! I was gonna mention it once you arrived here, Oathpill, but I was like in the middle of the story. I'm trying to figure out the double jump. It's very difficult. Because I'm playing on keyboard. To battle! I haven't really looked at the Steam sales yet. No. I only looked at Guilty Gear because I was thinking of buying it last time and then I missed the sale because I was like, damn, I don't know if I should get Blazing Edition or if I should just get the regular one. Is illusion of choice. It's so big! That's what she said. Calm down, Dante. Amazing! I didn't know there were remaining vessels of this class in Iberia. LobCorp and Ruin are on sale. I heard that they're always on sale too. Aha! Ah yes, be her name here. 'Tis called by the name Rebellion de la Massas. Rebellion de la Massas? Revolt of the Masses, is it? A name very much mired in peculiarity indeed. Just the main Bridget. She looks fun to play. I haven't tried anyone but Soul. Hung Lu chimed in, and he was rather fond of it, with its size being about the same with the boat from his home, while Ishmael quickly jumped in to correct us that its size alone wasn't anything special at the Great Lake. But it was still pretty big compared to Mephi or the Indigo Elder's skiff. I love the background artist. Like, I think ever since, like, Canto 8 hit, I started noticing the backgrounds a lot more, and I'm like, wow, whoever did this spent so much time to do all the tiny, tiny details of everything. Look at it! You can see every single detail on the ship. That's so cool. Is that the name of the artist? Naiga? I thought it was going to be somewhere around Mephi's size at most. Are you sure you can get the ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed you yesterday, the great majority of the time-consuming repairs had already been completed by the villagers. You can now legally beat up Clock. I feel like I'm gonna get beat up rather than I'm beating up anyone. I'm definitely gonna get juggled around like volleyball when I play Guilty Gear. It's gonna suck. The extent of a repair effort only concerns a few components within the vessel that the villagers could not repair, which shouldn't take us too much time. Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Faust are also malfunctioning, such as the core engine, remaining repairs should be sufficiently managed by Faust. He's absolutely bonkers when it comes to background work. I want to see! Do they have a Twitter? Do they have an art portfolio? Despite Idis's confident declaration, I could not help but feel oddly unsettled as I looked at the ship. I don't know why, but something tells me that we don't want to linger here for too long. He's getting flashbacks. He's getting Ishmael Canto flashbacks. Still, please be thorough about it, just in case. Remember the party ship? I'd rather not sit on a sinking ship again. The experience of the Great Lake was enough. Hello, Nero. Welcome in. Yo! Do not worry, Dante. Unlike Mephistopheles, most functions of this vessel, buoyancy gear, propellers, steering gear, are all in operational capacity. This repair should be much easier than the case with Mephi. Hello, Jin. Welcome in. Thank you for the stretch and hydrate. Oh my goodness. I did like 30 minutes of exercise yesterday, and now my entire body hurts. This is what happens when, like, you stop using muscles for a long time. And then you get DOMs everywhere. Okay. You seem confident enough. It should be safe this time around, right? Only the first time we get the sword? Yeah, that's true. Are we taking that rope to climb up the ship? No, there's a lift-like apparatus down here. It should take us up to the ship. The stability was verified yesterday. Let us aboard the lift. Don't worry, Rem. It's just pixels. They're just pixels. You don't need them. You don't need the egos. You're 100% certain, right? The boat is afloat right now, Dante. I don't think it'll be sinking anytime soon. Wouldn't that be nice? Oi, are you two just about to faff about down here? We're heading up now. No, we're going with you. As I made my way into the vessel's bridge, I was greeted by the extravagant interior that was as gaudy as its exterior. Look at the backgrounds, guys! Oh my goodness! That's so pretty. I love this so much. It does just get better and better and better and better every single time. It is blinged out. Look at all this gold. That's insane. The golden age will return again. This isn't real gold. Is it sure as shiny as heck in here? Oh, this is Rodion. I've got butterflies in my stomach. As aesthetically satisfying, she says. But too ostentatious. Ostentatious. Not quite my style. I gotta set up my stream. Goodbye, Rem. Have fun with your stream. Mayor's best girl. I'll remember that. Bye-bye. Our young Mephi is quite the excellent vessel, yet imagine the adventures we could embark on aboard this vessel most lavishly decorated. As Faust and Aldous were working on one of the control panels, Ishmael walked up to another and interfaced with it before giving a knowing nod. I'm so distracted because I'm just looking at all these, like, what's going on here. That's so cool. This must have been an investigative or research vessel of sorts, but it does seem a bit extravagant for one of those, though. Look, coordinates. Updating in real time, it seems. The coordinates seem to have been set to somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Maybe it points to a small islet? Nope, no islet there. Wait, she was with us this entire time? Are we getting stalked, guys? 3 months in this game is still rocket science to me? It's difficult. It's hard. That was me too. I only sort of got it in like the middle of the game. Like after 4 cantos in, 5 cantos in. Ugh! Blimey lass! You sure know how to sneak up on people. Mayors! What? Did I actually surprise you? I did ask if you guys were gonna come fix the boat today. Still, I didn't know you'd be here. Why are the coordinates set to this location? There are several undersea cities beneath these coordinates, collectively known as Eger. Zorius, yeah? Hello, welcome in. Graham's home. I see. Understood. What was understood, if I may ask? It is now understood why the promise to repair this ship was sufficient to earn the trust and the titles of saviors. What's she on about? Something getting translated. Consolidating and cross-referencing the observed particular circumstances of the village and statements of the village chief, alongside information garnered from the exchange with mayors, it is possible to gauge that the significance of the ship's repair has to be of local populace. Of course, while this may constitute a sequence of logical connections, it poses a certain challenge for Heathcliff to comprehend. She could have just said that he's a little slow. To employ a degree of effort to attempt to explain it in a more digestible language would constitute a pursuit of inefficiency. I disagree. I think that if she were to make it more digestible, it would be more efficient. Did he even understand all of that? He looks so pissed off. Lower the baton. I implore you. I shall explain it in full. I was wondering why Miss Smartass would start gabbing like that again. So what's she on about? Heathcliff's shoulders were relaxed. It didn't seem like he was actually going to swing the bat. He placed it lightly over his shoulder with a sigh. A brief observation of the village seemed to suggest that their subsistence situation was quite dire. Much of their daily sustenance consisted of dried food, most of them made from long-term storage purposes. Considering what Scotty said about the coastal areas are full of danger, maybe those dried seafood aren't from around here either? Maybe it's food they packed when they first came to Ferro Muerto? Some villagers were armed, yeah, and those sea terrors weren't exactly that formidable, but given the state the villagers are in, I doubt they'd have an easy time repelling those monsters. Indeed, and that brings us to the question of sustenance. Right, I get what's going on here. The lass and her granddad are about to visit their hometown, and They're trying to get some food supplies from here to feed the villagers and to convince them that they're planning to use the fact that they're from the same neck of the woods. Or sea, I guess. Oh, so we're not just repairing the ship. We're repairing their food supply plan too? Huh? What's wrong? It's, While the expressions were rather crude, Heathcliff's summary of the situation was clear, to the point, and easily understood. The sinner stared at him with mild surprise. And I did too. What's with them annoying looks? Well, oh, you sods. You don't think I'm that dim-witted, do you? Top-notch intuition. Guys, is this, character development? It's just that it's been a while since you've shown this side of yourself. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition's always been excellent, and he'd often put together surprisingly accurate conclusions with impressive speed. He's always been street smart since Canto too. That's true, I never thought of him as dumb, but he is very himbo-like. But street smart is different from being book smart. You know, when you think about it, it's kind of your fault for, I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Oi, get back here. Ahem. Now with those fools out of the conversation, was he correct? Smart but uneducated, so to speak. That's what I think too. I think in a different world, if we were to put Heathcliff in front of multiple textbooks and just be like, read everything, and he'd be like, yeah, sure, okay. Like, if he had that personality to be like, yeah, sure, I have nothing else to do, I think he would be like, this man would turn out to be a genius. Oh, look, Aldous. Aldous looked away from the usual chaos and asked Mayers. Honestly, I'm surprised. It was on point. Yeah, food's been running low in the village. At this rate, it won't last another year. But the Aegir will. I'm sure they'll welcome us with open arms. I don't want to come off like I'm overly worried, but do you think they'll welcome the others too? Unlike Mayors or Chief, they're not Aegir. I believe they will. Iberia suspects and hates the Aegir for no other reason than that we're from the sea, but our home cannot have fallen so low as to abandon a group of starving land dwellers. But prithee, might thou explain to us who the Aegir are? I had initially thought it'd be a reference to a region, yet it also seemed to refer to an affiliation of sorts. Maybe there's something like nest dwellers, though I don't think I've heard of a nest that accepts backstreet people with open arms. Or maybe they used to be some rich folk? If they call them nest toffs Aegir here, then does that make the rabbit-eared a lass Aegir too? Isn't 7 Heath doing pretty good? I think that's probably one of the hardest associations to stay in. Sure, he might be one of the lower sections, but still pretty good evidence of him being smart. 7 Heath? I don't know. I don't think I've read that one. Wait, in the world it came from, do they not distinguish between races? That is not entirely true. Delineation between races is a concept that does exist. Though I only saw them in the Fathoms. There were those terrifying things called the cuckoo spawns. That's such a stupid name. However, as a general rule, it can be said that humans should be the only intelligent life forms in the city. The people of Terra have slightly varying appearances depending on the race, like my goddess ears. And I've got pointed ears because I'm an Aegir, though it's not characteristic every Aegir shares. The closest idea to what they are discussing appears to be, Don Quixote seemed to be struggling to finish her sentence. Marceau stepped in to continue. By context clues and the manner of the word usage, including the means of classification, the closest example in our world would be blood fiends, similar external appearances to humans, different natures, comparable sapience. It is my belief that blood fiends are ostracized due to the nature that maketh coexistence with the humans difficult. It might be that Aegir also. You had to look up a bunch of lore for Arknights during these scenes. No, that's fair. You have to know what the Aegir are, you have to know what the... Or at least, if you've done the Stultzifera event in Arknights, then it should be okay. But I think that's mostly... Yeah, that's the lore of that one... multiple 2 events. I'm sure some of them do possess qualities that make coexistence with others difficult, but they're probably rare. They do quite well with explaining what the Aegir are and like the Seaborns are. Then wherefore are they made subjects of suspicion and hatred? That's... Well, the language is new, but the idea itself is pretty familiar to the city folk like us. Think of feathers that fall in wings. Kids born in the back streets, people who replace their body parts with prosthetics. They actually do a pretty good job explaining the Limbus company lore too. So now it's just like an exchange of information from both games. The form differs, yet in its essence we find the thread. So like I think it's great for like people who are new to Limbus company to like start this event and be like, oh, now I kind of have an idea of like what the city is and what the wings are and prosthetics and whatnot and the races in Limbus company, which just somehow is, I mean, it's just humans and robots, sorry, not robots, cyborgs. Something about how we're finding these similarities in our way of lives despite finding ourselves in a distant world with different rules, races, and humans. Felt oddly discomforting. Point is, you guys are doing us a real solid by fixing up the ship. Let's move on from those gloomy conversations, okay? I want to show you the cooler parts of this ship. This way. The ship tour may have to wait. The repairs are almost completed, but an issue has arisen. It's time to fight, guys. Issue? Oh wow, that's not reassuring at all. Multiple life forms identified ahead, assumed to be Sea Terror Horde. The ship's radar system seems to suggest that the vessel is surrounded. They're the same monsters from yesterday. Executive Manager, please order us to prepare for battle. Damn it. Are they the Sea Terrors you encountered? They look a bit different, but yeah, probably. There's a lot of them, but if our last experience tells us anything, we should be able to handle this. Amiya, please support us in battle like you did yesterday. Thank you for the follow, Lucifina. Welcome in. Canst thou fight, young mayors? I feel like I'm just gonna get in your way. Then guys, find a place to keep mayors as far as possible from the battle. Then let's hurry down there. We don't want them damaging the ship any further. Time for battle.
장부에
Time
적힌
for more
놈들은 볼
nervous
때마다
impairment.
기가 막히는군.
These are the
우리
same as
중지가
before.
엄지처럼
These are
엄격한 것도
in Arknights. I know that
경기처럼
these
이해할 수
guys
없는 걸
are
요구하는 것도
the
아닌데
weaker
말이지.
ones, and these guys are the stronger ones. I hate these ones. But is this just a... yeah, it's just a non-focus encounter.
점 찍었네.
We win rate this.
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여버려.
밑그림은 완성했다.
13조 2항에
빠르게
맞추려면
치라대.
그게
They're kind of
체격이지.
cute though. They're like dogs with
거치적거리지만 마.
blades for mouths.
좋아, 이번에는 제대로 들어갔군.
These guys look like
그
Percatula.
오물을
Actually, they all look like Percatula. What if they're just Percatula in the city, like in the Limbus Company floor? If we were to like shove them into Limbus Company, they'd probably
합격장.
방금의 공격.
be in the same vein.
신. 그
불길
자체야.
속으로.
Bite. That's such a boring skill name.
나쁘지 않군.
Also boring enemies, so it kind of makes sense.
좋아. 이제야 완성되었나?
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내기.
거치적
They won't stop coming. They've got a whole
떨고
army.
있는 나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
Oh, I
검을
should
덜
switch the announcer to Amiya, guys, just for the Arknights event. Let me
검을
do
덜
that.
갈았었나?
이제야 완성.
Sanguine pointillism.
이제야 완성되었나?
Did you buy her? I did. I was like, I'm gonna go support this collab event.
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내기.
불길 속으로.
I'm like, if I'm not getting any of the egos in the banner, I
벌벌
at
떨고 있는
least need to
나머지
get
녀석들도
Amiya as an
처형한다.
announcer to make it worthwhile, so that at least my account can be like, I've
이제야
done this event. You know what I mean?
완성되었나?
If you set it to Dante, she automatically gets put into it, even if you don't own her. What, really? I didn't know that. Are you not getting burnt out from doing art all day? I do get burnt out. I get burnt out so much. But it's just like a job.
불길
바쁩니다
속으로.
나는.
Like how other
지루하니까
regular people get burnt out from working at a full-time job. Like, don't you work a 9 to 5 and be like, yeah, I need a vacation. And every day you're like, ugh, I need a vacation. That's like me doing art. I'm sick of seeing Ricardo. I'm
걸작을
sick of seeing his
자아낸다.
face. Let's switch it.
마에스트로님이
How do I do it again?
어떤 평가를 내려주시?
Windows? We're having to not spending money on pixels. Look, but it's Amiya! I will spend money on things that I want to support. This being one of them. Where is it? How do I change it again? I forgot. I forgot. Do I click on this? No. That's not it. Do I click on this? Go to Sinners. Oh, he's right here. There she is. She sounds so cute. Oh wait, I need selected. Oh, I had Ricardo and Amiya selected. Ah. Ooh. I will always be mesmerized by that one illustration. The event illustration. Small tide. Are you sure it's a small tide? There's like 3 enemies now. There were 2 back here. I mean, big tide? Big tide. Ugh. Would you like to recharge? I'm just gonna use my lunacy. Do I have boxes? I don't.
제가 원하는 대로 베어버려도 되나요?
You're a Karen announcer enjoyer? I don't think I have her. Do I? Wait, do I have her?
Limbus 컴퍼니の皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
거치적거리지만 마.
Okay, now we just chill.
합격장.
適した攻撃でなくとも最善の選択だったはずです。
Let me just run 3-minute ads here because it's just fighting.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えました
검을 덜 갈았었나?
囚人の皆さんの状態を確認する必要がありそうです。
거치적거리지만 마.
The flower that I hate.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
ドクターのように優れた式です
I'm
ね。
gonna go pee. Bye.
나쁘지 않.
効果的な攻撃でした。ダンテさんの作戦とても効果的でした。
베는 건 즐겁네요.
이제야 완성되었나?
敵は深手を負っています。
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
이제야
꽤 잘
완성되었나?
갈렸고.
비뚤어졌구려.
このまま行けば敵を食い止められます。
That was the wrong place to type in P enter.
점
Not in
찍었네.
chat. Hello guys, welcome in.
그 오물을
Welcome back. You left.
떼어내주지.
It's like we
좀
just
더
started
잘
streaming.
그림은 완성이야.
P enter.
빠르게 칠하도록.
Okay, let me just put in my earbuds. What is going on in the stream?
모르네.
このまま行けば敵を食い止められます。
그 오물을
Funny squiggly blue things.
죽어라.
I thought it was a ghost.
되는 건 즐겁네요.
Do I look ghosty to you?
이제야
Should I
완성되었나?
look more ghosty?
자,
Don't disappear. Goodbye.
이제야 완성되었나?
I'm guessing normal mode will be pretty easy to clear.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
일리 있는 의견이다.
I am translucent, yeah. My dad asked me to help him with Halloween decorations. Okay,
비뚤어졌구려.
have fun.
이제야
I'm so excited for
완성되었나?
Halloween. I was looking at costumes
꽤
yesterday.
잘 갈렸군.
I don't know what to do for Halloween yet. Like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a Halloween party. We always do every single year. The remaining entities have all returned to sea. Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? I don't know. Are we okay? It was just like our last skirmish. Horror game stream? Maybe. I'll think about it. Maybe. Sea terrors that had surrounded the ship returned to sea even before the battle came to an end. And the retreat felt too orderly and deliberate to just be running away. It's almost like they're making a tactical retreat. We're doing peachy, but what about the ship? Fao, is the ship okay? Minor damages to the hull, but nothing that will impede the ship's operational capabilities. Month is my worst month for watching streams. That's fine. You guys don't need to be here all the time. I don't expect it. Phew. So, I noticed that during battle, I might be wrong, of course, but I think that I noticed how around the end of the battle, those monsters were starting to go after the manager. You must be here. Yeah. I'm gonna tie you to a pillar. I'm gonna tape your eyelids open. You have to watch every single second of this stream. You're probably right, actually. I noticed too, at some point during our battle, those monsters realized that it's the manager who is commanding the rest of us. I sensed the very same. Their movements were fluid and adaptive, as though they were learning our behavior. Why does the Church of the Deep worship monsters like them? That ain't much of a question in it. They must have all gone mental. I'm sure they have many reasons, but Seaborns are beings of infinite potential, so much so that there's no superlative big enough to properly convey the scale. As organisms, they can endlessly evolve and adapt. Every time they encounter a new environment or a new element, they transform themselves in other Seaborns. Even this Saturday and Sunday. Hey, I'm not streaming Saturday and Sunday. You can't be here. No, you're not allowed. Go do your life stuff. Go do the important things you need to do in your life. Maybe that's their draw. That fascination may have been attitude most befitting a researcher, yet the transformation of fascination into idolatry is, if I may be frank, not entirely positive. I find them pretty uncomfortable. They just remind me of whales. Then, can they adapt to learn a language to communicate with us? What? Going by everything we heard, I think they sound really smart. Mayor's eyes went round at Honglu's suggestion. She brought her hands to her mouth, surprised. It sure was something. I heard that there were Seaborn who could talk. If non-humans speak the language of humans, regardless of its testament to their intelligence, I can only think of two possibilities as to why they would. One, to communicate with humans. The other, to deceive humans. More often than not, it's the latter. What about distortions? Some of them already know how to speak. Distortions are phenomena in which humans transform into monstrous forms. First observed after the White Nights and Dark Days incident. That is totally not speaking from experience. Ooh, maybe it is alluding to her Kanto. Ooh. Therefore, that example is irrelevant to Addis's supposition. White Nights. Dark Days. She whispered quietly, but as we were standing rather close to her, we all caught on to the hint of joy in her voice. Aisha, Mayor's best girl. She's totally suspicious right now. The pillar of light in the city, did it really? Have you come across this knowledge, Miss Mayers? Oh, that's... Ain't it obvious? She got the culprit right here. The storyteller who's been grabbing on with no end. Yeah, she's been talking non-stop all morning about all kinds of stories, hasn't she? Oh? Yet have I not gotten that far... You again? You didn't get lost in your own stories that you blabbed all about our company's secrets, have you? Nay, Fee, I would simply not. As Don Quixote was subject to another round of scolding, Amiya stared out towards the sea, wary that sea terrors might start crawling to the surface once again before turning towards us. I wonder which of the two the Seaborns are. Their sense of self is really faint, so I don't think they'll be in either category. I think it's possible that they learned human language out of instinct, that the power of speech might help them survive. It appears that you, Miss Mayers, are quite the expert on the subject of Seaborns. Your knowledge of them goes beyond what they fear for one's survival may yield, thereby suggesting a different means of acquisition. Do you, by any chance, worship the Seaborns? I don't worship Seaborns. Seaborns don't have any hopes or wishes, just desire for survival. Miss Mayers, does that mean if Seaborns are somehow able to hope? Maybe so. Is that so? The repairs are complete. As we were conversing, Faust descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools borrowed from the village. Repairs completed. I'm guessing repairs are done? We're done? I love this dialogue. I love this line. Something I would say. Yes, the ship is ready to set sail. Did he have a departure time and date in mind? I would prefer if we depart as soon as possible. We don't have a set time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail this late afternoon, at the earliest. That soon? As a scene, we don't have a lot to bring with us. By the way, how far out to sea do you guys need to go? We need to find this dimensional door of sorts. I could see the dimensional door's light from the beach at night. It was faint, but given how the light's strong enough to break through the sea fog, we should be able to determine its location, somewhere around the coastal waters. So, you can just go back tonight. The first order of business is to relay this news to the villagers. Yeah, back to the village for now. Terra.
걸작을 자아냈나. 마에스트로님이 어떤
Stop
평가를
breathing.
내려주실지 흥분이 가시지
The
않는구려.
Inquisitor. Oh, you guys are losing left and right. What's going on? Just like me and my gacha banners. Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it. Thank you for the head pat, Kai. Hello, hello. There's something going on in the village. Yeah, I hear it too. I'm hearing people shouting and hollering. Gonna play Woo again? I'm thinking about it. I can now. I can finally play Woo without my PC dying. We returned to the ship. Ship repairs completed, and we were welcomed by a rather hostile standoff. A quick count told me there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. Considering its population, that's pretty much the whole village. You're also stuck in the TFT mines. 07. I'll see you in gold. Who's that over there? Inquisitor. Thank you for this Trojan Hydrate Orovite. You're still in bronze? Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll see you in gold. You're gonna get there, right? Oh, it's Irene? The Inquisitor, dressed in a well-kept uniform, was about the same height as Don Quixote. The sword in the lamp hanging from her waist sits in stark contrast with the more run-down, ramshackle village. She almost looked like a fixer from the city. So, the Inquisition has discovered our village. Did you really think that you could forever stay out of the Inquisition's gaze, citizen? That's a naive dream. Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition mid-interrogation under charges of suspicion membership of the Church of the Deep. Last known location, Salt Flat. The other Inquisitors have informed me that you have been identified next to pirates and its fringes. From a criminal to an outlaw. What a dramatic evolution of your career. But it ends here. Now. Every citizen here, including you, will be accompanying me to the Inquisition. They have never broken a single law, nor are they outlaws of any kind. They're not like me. They have disregarded the Inquisition's authority, evaded the gaze of Iberia, and found this sodden coast, Telurkin. Tell me I'm not supposed to find that suspicious. What are you talking about? You can't just start arresting people left and right with a tenuous suspicion like that. You shouldn't. We only wish to live a quiet life, ma'am. Is that so? You might find yourself returning to this village one day, as long as you're telling the truth. Which is not an option for you, Fabius. Mayor, was Chief really a pirate? Well, yeah, but as far as I know, he's been out of the game for a while. And even when he ran with the pirates, all he ever did was share fin beast jerky to villages. or carry Iberians between them. Even if you're telling the truth, Mayors, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient. Fire-breathing turtle dragon doodler. That's a really long-ass name. Hello. How's it going? First time here? Hello, welcome in. We're just going through the story of Limbus Company and Arknights event. I'm doing okay so far. It's a lot of talking. Need a lot of water. Need a lot of liquids. I hope you're also doing well. Salt flat. Spend our day neath the scorching sun. Work the salt flat till the day is done. What song is that? Thank you for this. The 6. What is that? Is that a 6 gifted? I cannot see. I cannot see. What is going on? Thank you very much. Subscribe for 6 months in a row. That's what it is. Yay. Is the lobby thing an Exodus event? Exodus? Exodus? I have but one question to ask. Like, what do I call you? Fire breather? Or you a turtle? Or are you a dragon? Or are you a doodler? That's a lot of words. The Inquisitor, is she following the proper legal procedures? I don't know much about the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Kelsey told us that the words of Inquisitors were pretty much the law here. Exodus from the Pale Sea? Don't think you were playing during that time, though. Exodus from the Pale Sea? Oh, what? No, I don't. I don't think I was. Just don't call me late to dinner. Don't worry. There's no food here. Unless we do a cooking stream and then I'm gonna call everyone late to dinner. It is likely that she is following the proper legal procedures. The procedures are precisely what the villagers have fled from, after all. Then it is decided. Alice quietly dragged me to the side and whispered outside Mayor's earshot. The sinners, who were right next to me, seemed to have picked it up, though. Executive Manager, we best immediately return to the ship, take command of it, and sail out on our own. It is unwise to involve ourselves in this conflict. Are you familiar with Arknights? Yeah, I am. I don't stream it, though. But it has been my favorite gacha game for a while. Wait, are you seriously suggesting that we let him arrest the villagers? And didn't you hear that the Inquisitor said? It seemed quite cut and dry to me. If this is just standard procedure with no local laws broken, we're in no place to involve ourselves. Our best hope is to take the ship before they impound that too. We can't do that. Even if it is standard procedure, even if they're working with the law, it's not... We stayed up to hear Mayor's story too, didn't we? You know, the Uncorp Inquisitors were working within the law too, and they came for the village. That was standard procedure too. If anyone had stepped in then... I know what you went through, but I'd still rather not take a risk in an unfamiliar environment like this. I'll try my best to figure out how to sail that ship. If I cannot, then I have faith in Ishmael to quickly learn its controls. I can't say you're wrong, but I don't know. Neither you nor I know anything about the ocean currents here, Addis. From what I know from Limbus, the city would hate Terra. Is there a lot of robots in Terra? There are. There are. The 2-star robots. Do you know anything about the sea currents in this region? Not much, but I know the coastal sea somewhat. And you can't fight the Inquisitors directly here in Iberia. Fleeing with a ship might be the better option. What shall we do, Dante? Don't forget Tin Man. True! True. I still don't have him, I don't think. You can only get him from the IS mode, right? Yeah, I guess it's kind of awkward for us to take the ship and go, huh? How about we talk to the Inquisitor then? I think we should at least try to hear them out first. Them being the Inquisitor and the Chief both. If the discussion goes well, then we might even be able to get the Inquisition support. Like Mr. Halu said, we should hear them out first, then try to convince them. I agreed with them both. First, let's at least see what that Inquisitor has to say. Raph is right, she says. Are you certain that translation was accurate, Sinclair? Right? There's no way Rhodia would choose anything other than violence, right? Idiots, it's because the other options are pointless. Inquisitor has seen us. We're all already under suspicion. She will doubtless try to stop us if we flee now. So, talk first, lower her guard, then attack. Have you guys not seen her AoE? S3? That's insane. Pretty sure that's not what Emiya meant. Well, if she's already onto us, then we shouldn't give her any excuse to attack us by running away. Have your pulls been my friend is cursing his luck somewhere fierce? They're pretty bad. They're not the worst, because I didn't do as many pulls as some other people did. I think I'm only on 100-something pulls. No one so far, nothing so far, but it's fine. Just pixels. I was wondering what you were doing there, lurking in the background. A clock-shaped head. Are you from the Colombian Union? They're wearing a clock for its head due to reasons, but they have nothing to do with the Colombian Union. What's the Colombian Union? TikTok. What? What language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you're from Colombia or not, you're clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. You're not wrong, but I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. I'm quite certain you don't know enough about these villagers to stand between them and the Inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Buddy, don't just tell her that. 2 days. Right. Enough of this chicanery. Get on my way, outsider. The attempts appear to have been made on quite the unstable ground. Please lend us your ear for a minute, Inquisitor. I am Emiya, leader of Rhodes Island. Yes, I'm aware of Iberia's closed border situation. I felt hope swelling within me as Emiya began with confidence, unlike Sinclair. Alas, it was short-lived. You have a nice voice, by the way. Very fun to listen to. I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. Thanks to the Inquisitor's short retort, I couldn't help but place my palm against my forehead at the exchange that followed. He does the cool jacket over the shoulder thing. I know he's badass. Gregor? He is a badass. He screams like a badass too. You've seen some of his IDs. Oh, so not only are you dealing with outsiders of dubious origin, we have illegal entry as well? We had to, because the issue demands urgency and... I've been briefed. Brazenly across the border, didn't you? I don't know how urgent this issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than the situation at hand for Iberia and its Inquisition. Female, she, her. The High Inquisitor is handling the Rhodes Island issue. Stay put and await the consequences while he and the chatty doctor of yours talk it out. Do you know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skills? Where's the doctor? Where's Doctor? As for the village chief, I understand that you have the right to arrest him, as he is a fugitive who has fled in the middle of an interrogation and has been sailing with the pirates. You like the Inquisitor? Yeah, she's like the lighthouse keeper. Big fan of her, me too. I really like her skins too, in Arknights. They're nice. I'm unable to play Limbus Company has a story. I love Limbus Company story. I play it like a visual novel. The same way I play Arknights, I play Arknights like a visual novel too. So very good. I've been enjoying it. Like, there are places where it's like slower paced and pacing's not great, but like as you go through all of the chapters, or the cantos in this case, it does get a lot better. Not to say that the first cantos were bad, they're still really good, but it just, if you think the first ones are good, then it'll just get better. That's her friend Jordy? What? Inhuman. That decision is well within the right bestowed upon the Inquisition. Oh, Leviathan. Oh, you're asking about the event. Oh, the event's good so far. And I haven't gotten very far. But that's why we're going through the story right now. They lived for years right next to the highly suspicious Aegir. The Inquisition must investigate the rest of them as well to verify whether they have committed any acts of treason against our law. This isn't going anywhere, is it? I heard someone say watch the first season of the anime, skip chapters 1 to 5, then it gets great when it comes to Arknights. I argue that I like chapters 1 to 5. Yeah, I liked all the chapters, so except for 8. I couldn't get through 8. I'm still trying to get through 8. I can't do it. I just skipped it. Listen, they've been surviving for years upon years by the coast with the protection of the Inquisition, and that simply cannot make sense. Have you finished the latest Canto? No, I am on Canto 8, but I'm still in the beginning of Canto 8. I'll be right back. Goodbye. See you later. Oh, I think I've heard enough from you. Ain't that funny how you're blaming them for what is essentially a failure of your responsibilities? Now you roll up in here only to go, they shouldn't be alive. I'm arresting them all. What are you saying? These people should all be dead or something? I am. There is no other way to cut it. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this, not for that long. The Inquisitor's reply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath as he lifted his bat and began striding forward. Yeah. Is he gonna use that against her? Oh my goodness. The pacing for 1 to 5 is pretty decent. It's the stages that got a bit too tedious for me. 4 to 9. Yeah, it's more fun to just do all of the gameplay and then read the story instead of going from like story to stage to story to stage, because then you get this weird like jumble between like, you know, wanting to continue the story because the story's interesting and then like losing all of that momentum with fighting with the gameplay. I'm new here. Your stream just popped up in my feed. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you enjoy your stay. Canto 8 has a few epic moments. Canto 8 is good, but Chapter 8 in Arknights, I hate it. You love Canto 8, especially parts 2 and part 3? I haven't gone there yet, so waiting. Slowly. I will be streaming it. The Inquisitor's reply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath as he began striding forward. Right, he's about to beat her up. That's it. Alas, if he ever so much as touched the tip of a single villager's hair. Please calm yourself, Heathcliff. But Hollu stepped in between them. Get your bloody hands off me! I had enough of her! Continuing to threaten her will cause something irrevocably bad to happen. I believe you know that yourself, Heathcliff. What do you suggest, then? We're clearly not making any progress by trying to talk this out. Excuse me. Miss Inquisitor, what do you mean that people shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this? I mean it. Literally. Even by some miracle that they actually do survive, they should at least be suffering from endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end at the inevitability of the calamity. But they look too healthy. Oh, she's right. This is what I've been saying from the start. They're probably doing something suspicious in order to survive. The heck? Then shouldn't you be applauding them for managing to survive through as much hardship? I, an Inquisitor. I'm not some crazy person on a power high who goes around accosting and arresting civilians of Iberia straight to the gallows, okay? I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for interrogation. It's just that I don't have the time or the energy to explain every single one of them to you outsiders. I promise him a fair judgment, whichever way that may be after a proper investigation. So stop it with the obstruction of justice. She said the word. She said justice. The Inquisitor brandished her rapier threateningly, her voice shaking with frustration. Dante. Without the full picture of their circumstances, Faust advises against further antagonization of a local political authority. I agree with Faust. I get the feeling that she isn't the kind of heartless inquisitor that goes around indiscriminately executing innocents like Miss Mayers told us about. I don't think she's anything like the inquisitors of N-Corp we saw back at Call. They were right. Hold on. Where are my glasses? Why aren't they working? Oh, I know why. Oh, I know why. Yeah. There we go. We didn't have the full picture of the circumstances, and getting in the way of an inquisitor who was clearly a rather significant political entity in the area was most likely a bad idea. It isn't the inquisitor's job to answer your questions. Continue to obstruct me then, as the standoff was showing no signs of ending. Miss Mayers? I can answer your questions, so for now, let's do as the Inquisitor says. Mayers, who had been hiding behind us ever since we returned to the village, suddenly stepped forward. Ed, what of thy grandfather and the villagers? Just shared the stream with friends. Thank you. They might pop by. I'm gonna be so surprised. I'll pretend that they weren't invited, that I didn't know about this. I will be bewildered. What do you mean you'll answer the question? About the profound silence. Mayer's response to Auris was but a single concept. I didn't quite grasp its significance, but it seemed to surprise the Inquisitor. That's what they call the calamity that destroyed Iberia. Ooh, lore. And now we get to admire more backgrounds. Amazing. Ooh, look, we have enough for one poll. One single poll. Ooh, 2 polls. Ooh, spinning clock. You ain't the first person I've done this with. I enjoy finding talented new VTubers and sharing them with new friends. With friends, not new friends. I appreciate that. Thank you. Why is Dante spinning, by the way? Why is the clock spinning? Unless it's like the hands that are spinning. And that's what they mean by it.
제가 원하는 대로
Alright.
베어버려도 되나요?
To battle. They did, yeah, Director Kim did gift us a 10-pull ticket. I saw from the stream. He was flexing his Arknights account, apparently. Ich bin! Ew. Decades ago, a great wave ravaged through Iberia. Lore. It wasn't long before the seaborns carried by the waves diminished Iberia's brilliant civilization to this. The waves, the profound silence, then must have reduced the village to its current state as well. He also pulled 3 AK Egos and like 140 pulls. I'm almost there. I didn't even get all 3 of them yet. Is there any reason it's called the Profound Silence? It doesn't seem to be the most appropriate moniker for a calamity like this. It's because the sea went dead silent before the waves came. The silence then claimed ships out at sea, and the cities of Iberia. Then, the Iberians. No one could say a word in face of the ineffable calamity. What? Just, what are you? No average Iberian citizen should be privy to any of this information you're sharing. And the Church of the Deep is really capitalizing on the pandemonium that followed the profound silence. They pretend to be Aegir from the sea, but delude the citizenry of Iberia and are sowing chaos in her lands. So that's why they're arresting the Aegir left and right. I can see the thought process, but the Egos and Limbus has terrible rates. Is that why I'm not getting any of them? I can just blame the rates. It's not me. It's not my terrible luck. Just the rates. So it's understandable why the Inquisitor would want to arrest us. Dante, this isn't good. Sharing that seemed to have been some kind of a taboo-like thing for the Inquisition. The Inquisitor wordlessly stared at Mayers. Her eyes were filled with traces of anger and confusion, but she's afraid. There was fear in the face of a threat. Not the fear of the terrified, no. It's the fear of someone who's suddenly confronted with something they must destroy. The High Inquisitor once told me that, should I come across an Aegir who knows too much, there's a sliver of chance they may be of assistance to Iberia. Cease! Thou art threatening the innocents with thy brandishing of the firearm! But most are seduced by the allure of the sea. Thus, they are with a little doubt our foes. I've got a bad feeling about this. Get out of my way, outsider! Final warning. Run! Quick on the uptake as always, Rhodia slung Mayers over her shoulder and then ran past the villagers. I love how strong she is! Oh, Rhodia's so funny! While the sinners scattered in all directions to distract the Inquisitor. Ooh. Inquisitor draws her firearm. And in the midst of the action, Don Quixote rushed towards the Inquisitor without a moment's hesitation. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Have a good lurk, Shiro. My gorilla Russian Onesan. Don Quixote. We should take off our shoes. Thou shalt go no further. I, fixer of justice, shan't abide by as thou persecute them. Forsooth, 'tis a battle delayed, not avoided. This clash is inevitable. In that moment of crisis, seconds before this could irrevocably make a new enemy. Monster. It's Calcit! Oh my goodness. Right in smack in the middle of the battlefield. A large obsidian crystallization in the shape of a monster burst forth between the two of them. Ooh! Who is it this time? That's enough meaningless bickering. Dr. Calcit! Do we get the doctor too? Do you know her? Yes, she is Dr. Calcit, Rhode Island's medical department's... Dr. Calcit, behind you! Shoot first, talk later, is it? The negotiations are over. From this moment onward, Rhodes Island is now operating within legal capacity in Iberian territory under the Inquisition's authorization. The Inquisitor fired a blast of that firearm-looking weapon, but the monster summoned by Calcit managed to deflect it. And the cannonball thrown from the weapon punched clean through the wall of the building we stayed the night in before punching through several other buildings behind it. That was enough to instantly freeze the sinners and the villagers on the spot. That penetrated a building. Irene is strong, guys. Though the walls may be weaker than the head standard for what counts as a building's exterior wall to punch through so many as, what a precise point it makes. Now is not the time to stand around impressed. It is a violation of a taboo that have much penetrative power in a firearm. We're not in the city. Don't lose your heads over this. Taboos don't apply here. My head knows that to be true, yet my heart finds it difficult to be still. Perhaps enough of this discussion for now. It is advisable that we carefully observe and grasp the situation at hand instead of deliberating on a taboo that's the jurisdiction of which does not reach this far. Yeah, so the situation's gotten slightly better, right? If she's Amiya's friend, she's her ally. Besides, she's got some super powerful looking prosthetic gear looking thing too. Monster isn't prosthetic, guys. Is that what you think? I apologize for the disappointment, but I am not on anyone's side. In other words, your particular denomination of ally might not be entirely correct. However, if I must define my allegiance, then let me inform you that the closest label would be that I am Inquisitor Irene's ally. Dr. Kelsey, Amiya, outsiders. As much as you would like to deny it, Inquisitor's suspicions are true. While it can be said that the process by which she reached the conclusion was unfair, the conclusion itself is, without a doubt, correct. So, they're actually connected to the Church of the Deep? That is one way to put it. To be more precise, they aren't connected to the Church of the Deep. They are the Church of the Deep. Perhaps the village itself is the dilapidated church of their congregation. Our village? A church? Just look at our buildings. Where would he even congregate? Your thoughts, Faust? There are not many resources by which we may analyze the decision. However, the fact that Amiya's colleague has made the same argument as the Inquisitor brings the accused defense into question. It's like Ace Attorney. Yet, I can hardly believe that young Mayers is lying to us. Hold on, you've been chatting plenty with that Inquisition or whatever. How do we know you weren't aligned with him the whole time? I see, you really are all entirely in the dark. An expected outcome, given that all of you may be from a place far beyond the dimensional door. As fortune should have it, there is no need for you to know it anyway. The truth is truth and changing, without the acceptance from an errant group of outsiders. Besides, soon. I'm sorry. It seems that we've mired you in this trouble. Say no such thing. We shall not abide by as injustice is perpetrated before our eyes. The village has already been identified by the Inquisition, and the Inquisition has even brought an ally. It seemed quite unlikely that words shall resolve this conflict. But we promise you, we will take responsibility for what is done. We have benefited far too much from your warmth and kindness not to do so. The village chief, with a benevolent look, pulls a dagger from his cloth. Hello? And I immediately knew what Kalset was about to say. What's going on? What is going on here? Oh my goodness. Take responsibility. You don't have to go that far. Blimey. We are now departing for the sea. Yet, as we cannot bring ourselves to leave you here, I must ask you to join us for this journey. Become our bloodkin. What are you doing? Stop! The unanticipated, or perhaps I was simply in denial of this rising dread, ambush did not end there. Ugh! Damn it! The Inquisitor was right! Oh, we're all getting stabbed left and right, aren't we? Haven't we been fighting all this time and you guys are just getting backstabbed? Hello? Hello? The villagers suddenly began shanking the sinners with weapons they had concealed in their clothes. Oh my god. And it seemed like they were coming for me as well. Ugh. Amiya, on your left. Kalset, help. Amiya materialized a black ribbon-like apparition, parrying away the dagger flying in my direction. But another villager rushed in, taking advantage of the opening. How many people are in here? The discharging villager's back made a visceral crunching noise. Ew! Someone flung them away. Exactly, we can survive a horde of sweepers, but these are just people. These are people with daggers. That's crazy. What is going on here? I'm pretty sure that they can all survive one stab wound. I'm pretty sure they've died so many times. There's no way they can take down the sinners. Didn't mean to be this late. Scotty, let me catch you up to speed. I know the situation. This fishy smell was what I went to investigate earlier. Yeah, exactly. Malnourished people with rust dull daggers. I cannot believe this. There's no way. What about the sinners? Unlike Amia and I, who managed to survive the initial ambush, the sinners weren't doing so well. Excuse me? Excuse me, what is going on? At least we had a silver lining in that Inquisitor and Callus's quick understanding of the situation, and the subsequent retaliation led the villagers away from the sinners. The sinners probably never had a tetanus shot. God. Ow. I didn't notice any hostility or aggression. What an odd thing to say. Why would we hold any animosity against you? Why would we intend to kill you? We're not trying to hurt you. We're simply trying to give you a form better suited for the sea. We're gonna get turned into Seaborn? Until we were obstructed. I apologize for unfamiliarity has caused you trouble, Inquisitor. I won't make a big stink about what happened, but truly unforgivable is that the heretics tried to take advantage of the ignorance of outsiders to flee the Inquisition. And even if you are outsiders, any lives lost in Iberian soil are my responsibility. It's my fault. I'm sorry it came to this. Hi, Stixon. Hi, Blobby. The Sinner's greatest weakness is the writing team. Apparently so. Wait. Lives lost? We're still alive, you know. We can shake off a stab wound like... This is most unfortunate, outsider. Huh? What? Your friends are either going to die or turn into Seaborns. The daggers that stabbed them were laced with the flesh of sea terrors. Once that happens, most die, and their survivors become overwritten by their cells, becoming nothing more than another sea monster. Oh, how fun. What? That's not a very big deal? Everyone was acting like this was it for the sinners, but that's right, it's... the clock is spinning! We spin! Hey, I should be able to deal with this by turning the clock. It's not that bad, unless we can't. My only concern was that I didn't know what would happen if I tried to bring them back after they're fully transformed into Seaborns. The golden bow helps deal with the whale's palification effects, but I had no idea how it would interact with Seaborn transformations. The wheel of fate is turning, we spin! We should just kill them before they turn. I know this must be very hard for you, but for... what? Sorry to bother you with this, but can you kill my friends? It must sound so strange to a person who doesn't know. And preferably in the least painful way, you know? Halloween decoration up, yay! Welcome back to Chat Clock. I hope you had a good time putting up decorations. It's always fun. Oh, sorry. Was the last part kind of too much to ask? Wait, don't give up already. If we bring them back to Rhodes Island, we should be able to do something to help them. How should I explain this? Guys, can you... Dante, I know what you mean, but I just can't right now. My strength has rapidly deteriorated since the ambush. It's kind of tingly too. So maybe they use some kind of paralytic cocktail? Just trust me on this one. One time, I can assure you that I'm not just giving up on them. But... Mia, can you understand the outsider's speech? Yes, it's just that they're making a pretty difficult request. They want me to kill all of their friends before they transform into Seaborns. Okay. I love Scatty, how she's just like, yeah, sure. And before we even knew it, Scatty's already decapitated the sinners, none of whom resisted. Okay. She might as well just hit us with a okay. Amiya seemed to have been taken aback by how fast Scatty jumped into action. What are you doing? Scatty? Don't let this spook you. This is just how we roll. The clock turns. We spin! The decapitated heads creep towards the headless torsos, connecting with the threads of blood. The sensation is that of reversal. Feels as though the sinners and I are severed from the rest of the world, rewinding in isolation. This is just how we roll. Is this reminding us going back in time, or are we defying the concept itself? This pain is multifold worse than the sensation of the straightforward decapitation. The pain is in the heart. As the current of death reverses, I sense a deep, crushing isolation. Their wounds are disappearing. Yeah, he usually sees a star. Blue star? Resurrection? Metapsychosis? Or time reversal? Puzzling. I have no knowledge with which to interpret this technology. Wait, he only saw the star once, right? Isn't it a door? You're right. It is a door. Because I remember him going, it feels like I have to pull him out of the door, and I was like, there's like FMA. I remember saying how I was like watching Full Metal Alchemist. The cost seems to be the pain is transferred to one who rewinds. That seemed too small a price for such great power, though the discussion of whether this can be categorized as power should be explored later. I couldn't stop shaking. All of my limbs were trembling from the icy solitude. Still, I took a moment to collect myself and order the sinners. I don't know just what they were thinking, but we should be able to find out once we take them down. It's such a cool scene. Why does Dawn look so freaking evil here? What is this? Why does she look like she's about to kill? We should be able to find out once we take them down. Guys, is this Aura? I'll leave a subscription with the bell on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming too. See you around. Who removed her shoes? I wonder. The Seaborns ain't beating my kindred blood. Ah! What is the next stream gonna be? It will be Wednesday. Every Limbus company stream is every Wednesday. But I usually stream every day, different things. Except for this Saturday and Sunday, which is an exception. I'm going to a convention. But other than that, I stream every single day. A village of people she probably would like to kill. Dawn? Seaborn blood fiend sounds terrifying. It kinda does, actually. I hope they never get turned into blood fiends. Because that's like double the power. You dare deceive the executive manager and try to take their life? Prepare thyself, for thou shalt not pay the price for making a mockery of justice. Yeah, we can't just let that slide, you know. How unfortunate. I had high hopes that all of you would become fine bloodkins. Ooh. Such a cool scene. Alright, let's go. P
レンバ
enter.
スカンパニーの皆さんと
Whoa, wait, this is a focus
本
encounter.
当に嬉しいです
Never mind. Never mind.
ピットロジョッ
敵
クや
に対して大きな打撃を与えました
Fuck it, win right. I'm pretty sure I can get through all of this. Casually. This is normal mode. It should be easy. This event is meant for new players. So everybody should be able to beat it with default
ドクターのように
sinners, with this default IDs. Arcing my knights,
エリートオペレーター
uniting
の
my
身の腕前
arcs.
です
Right? Yeah, as long as everything is not good. What? That's crazy. Are we good now? No, we're still not good. 3 speed. Why does everyone want to kill him? Who is this? Aldous? You know what? It's fine. He can take 1 hit. 100%. Why am I using my blade team? Yeah, why am I using my blade team? Whatever.
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
Did you get any Arknights ego? Nope. Just pixels. I don't care.
그 오물을
Hard mode wasn't too bad. Even using a
Hey,
Heisho
Alex.
team, just need to be a little mindful in the last fight. I don't know if I'll do hard mode. I usually skip hard modes of stuff. I'm like, I'm just there for the story. Maybe if I have time. TFT priorities. Learning Guilty Gear. It was free event currency, I needed it, that's fair. That is true.
向こうにも事情があるのでしょうですが
Oh,
私たちは止まれません
Okay, everyone looks like you're doing fine.
점 찍었네.
TF2? No, TFT. TFT, Teamfight Tactics, League of Legends. If only it was TF2, and I wouldn't get jumped on every time I mention it. Oddly, I found the boss before the last fight massively more difficult.
効果的な
I
攻
guess
撃
we'll
でし
find
た
out. TFT, bad game, awful, horrible. I say that every day. I can't stop playing, that's what I say.
じゃん
ダンテさんの作戦とても効果的でした
Liar! Liar, hello! Did you figure out the Wordle word?
합격장.
Hi, hi. Hi, hi. Frog Raid. It is Frog Raid. Thank you for the 4 months in a row. Holy crap. Are you guys, did you guys have a good stream? Just chatting? Wait, you were streaming Limbus Company?
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
How is Limbus Company? Do you guys do the event? League of Legends. League of Legends. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Just kidding. I don't play Summoner's Rift. I did. It was it was redacted. I'm glad he had a really good stream. How about you chill a bit in 2xKO? No, I gotta play Guilty Gear Strive. I just got it. See, if I am choosing a fighting game to play, I will just play Guilty Gear. I will do like 1 ranked game. Oh shoot, I'm dying. It's fine. I will do 1 ranked game of TFT and then I will play Guilty Gear.
완성되었나?
Bye guys, I gotta leave. I have to start learning something. Goodbye, Dynamo. Thanks for coming with the raid. Limbus company. We're just chilling here. We're just entering. We're letting the game play everything out for us. We're watching the AI. What the? What the hell was that? I did not expect the freaking tentacles to like come out of his cloak.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
He's a seaborn. He is. You're right. He is a
囚人の
seaborn.
皆さんの状態を
What
確
the
認
hell was
する必
that?
要がありそうです。管理人
Right of liberation. I guess I gotta pay attention now, huh? Sea terror assimilation. Amazing. Hello, dipshit idiot. Welcome in. Gain if an allied sinner has 5 stacks of this effect, it escapes battlefield. An allied sinner? Oh, we're fine. We'll be okay. He's almost staggered. Look, his stagger bar, it's right there. Literally right there. Okay. So this guy's gonna die for sure. This one's gonna be dead in one hit. Okie dokie. Actually, who is this? It's Otis. Who does the most damage? And Claire? Rhodia? Okay. Now for sure. Now 100%.
거치적거리지만 마.
Easy peasy. Only one game? How about 2? So you will reach diamond half the time? Oh, you're right. I should play 2 games of TFT. Instead of 1. That's right. He's dead. What? What? That guy's got like 3 HP. And some ARAM after? No, I never play ARAM. Reminds me too much of Summoner's Rift. He's literally got 3 HP. You're kidding me.
불길
Fine.
속으로.
Easy fight. If you keep doubling the amount of TFT games you play, eventually you'll hit diamond in a single day. I love math. Is this multiplication? Multiplication at its finest.
나쁘지 않군.
그
You're right.
오물을
You guys are
가져와라.
right. Maybe I should just play this entire day. Just kidding. I have work to do. I play every time I need a break from drawing. But wait, I think they're headed to... He's running himself into a dead end. Are you seeking refuge at sea? Wait, that's where the ship is. That's where they're headed. They're trying to board the vessel masses. Wait, but we never told them that ship was repaired, so how... Ain't it obvious? The whole village is in on it. It ain't a surprise that they send someone to spy on us if they knew a way to get the ship floating, even in its broken state. Vessel masses? Vessel Rebellion de la Masses. The ship is moored at a port in that direction. Wait, it can't be! Irene, who was preoccupied with battling the rest of the followers of the Church of the Deep, who were in hiding, quickly gave chase. It's gone, guys! Ship is gone! But Fabius and the villagers were already aboard the repaired ship, slowly departing the harbor with a horde of sea terrors between us and them. For Halloween stream TFT, it would be terrifying, wouldn't it? It would be terrifying for you guys. How can a vessel of that size become operational this fast? Is that an idea? Do you guys want me to play TFT for Halloween? Get scared! Get scared! The exterior of the name, it must have been constructed during the Golden Age of Iberia. But how are we supposed... The Golden Age, sorry. But how are we supposed to chase that? What if we built a raft and rode after them? What a wonderful idea, Honglu. Hello, Ark! Welcome in! How are you guys doing? How is Arknights? Were you guys doing chapter 15? Arc raid, Arc raid, Arc raid. Arc playing Arknights, who raided into Arc, who was doing a Limbus Company and Arc collab stream. Another Arc? So many different Arcs. Yeah. Arc streams Arknights regularly, by the way. Want to drop them a follow if you guys are interested in Arknights. Yeah, the Arcception. The Arcception is real. I hope you guys had a good stream. We're just reading some story today. Hi, I'm Arc. Welcome in. Welcome in, Arc. I was doing a Babel rerun. Ooh, that's fun. Babel. Are you excited for Wenfield? Soon. They got the license thingy completed yesterday. Forgot what it was. Some license thing. Some papers done. So we might be able to see it soon. Yeah, the Arc to Arc communication. That's what it is. But this might be spoilers for some of you guys if you haven't done the story yet. This is the Stultifera event. Kind of talks about Seaborn. Mate, come on! Sea is full of sea terrors. It won't get very far before it sinks. Do you see something, Amia? You keep looking in that direction. Oh. Oh? The vessel masses soon disappeared into the mist, and the village was left empty, with nary a sign of people ever having been there, as though this getaway had all been premeditated. We will all die and be buried in our coffin when Wenfield drops. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be either end of this year or next year. I got some inside deeps that it could be. It's probably early 2026. But who knows? Might come earlier. Leaving only mayors. Ah, I missed the ship already. It was beautiful.
걸작을 자아냈나. 마에스트로님이 어떤 평가를
Okay, how about we
내려주실지
don't bring a
흥분이
blue
가시지
team
않는구려.
the next one. I remember someone saying bring sinking, so I'm like, maybe that's what I'll do. Wait, there's just story. There's just story. Just story content. Damn it, why can't we just take any ship to go after it? It's a research vessel. It can't possibly be very fast. This will be difficult. Even if it was just a research vessel, I'm sure it was constructed during the golden age of Iberia. The golden age will return again. Cue and drums. No average ship can keep up with it. Which is a problem because I doubt we have any ship that can travel at the same speed. We only have a few small vessels left, which are all anchored too far from this location to be feasible options. Do we have any recourse? No. Not unless we can identify the exact location of the vessel. Depression team is just too good against enemies with sanity? That is true. That is true. I should bring Enclair, what's his name? Sinclair? Enclair? Rhodia? Depression Dawn? Whoa! Hello, Chi! Hi, guys! Welcome in! How are you guys doing? We're streaming art! Ooh, that sounds fun. Do you guys have a good art stream? Do you guys have anything to show for... Do you want to show for art? I can put it on stream right now. We also do a lot of art streams here. Twice a week, usually. We're doing art stream tomorrow. Chi Association Raid! Hello, Swaggy Star. Hello, Chi. Hello, Chi. We're doing the Arknights, Limbus Company collab. We're doing the story. This might be spoilers for some of you guys, just in case. I don't want to say anything about it. Luciella, hello, hello. Have a good lurk. I think we're past the climax, though. Which is the real problem. We can find ourselves a ship to go after them, yes, but most eyes of Iberia, the lighthouses, were lost during the profound silence. A post if you want to see is just a slosh mail. Slosh mail. Yes, I want to see slosh mail. We get to see the gooby goops. We get to see slime. There she is. Ishmael. Wait, when you say most, do you mean that there's some left? Wait, what happened? I forgot everything that happened. Okay, it's a problem. We cannot find the vessel. The lighthouses, the eyes of Iberia, they were lost during the profound silence, so we can't find them. We can't find the ship. Okay, I gotcha. Do you mean that there's still some left? We still have one lighthouse. Just one, as far as I know. The one in Grand Pharaoh, but... Hello, Caster X. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. That lighthouse cannot be used at this moment. There's another. Mears didn't go with them? Her grandfather just left her here. That's hilarious. But grandfather... There's a lighthouse you can use. Cha-ching. Really? Hello, Huasa. Are you really going to give one of the villagers the benefit of the doubt? Yeah, like, Mayors, you're still here? Go with your family. No one asked the question. No one was like, Mayors, why are you here with us? Thank you for the stretch and the hydrate. Thank you for the head pat too. I have no more water, guys. Yet, young Scatty had already confirmed her to be safe. All I confirmed is whether she's a Seaborn or not. Can't know if she's a cultist. This... true. Yes. Once we saw that Mayors was left all on her own, we decided to have her accompany us at all times and keep her within Irene's eyeshot. We couldn't possibly blame her for what happened, given Scotty's confirmation that she doesn't have anything to do with those sea monsters. Besides, they all left her behind. They didn't care about her. No one in their minds was like, yeah, let's just grab Mayors too. But Irene still seemed to harbor a bit of suspicion. Problem with the Ager is that she simply knows too much. Where could she have possibly gained access to all the information? See? She can't even answer that question. But let's think about it this way. What if we were to ask her what we don't know? The location of that lighthouse, for example. They're ticking rapidly. What did they say? Dante says that we should approach it differently and ask her what we don't know, like the location of the lighthouse. I love how Mia's a translator now. Seems like a reasonable suggestion to me, or does that Inquisitor have an alternate solution to this conundrum? No, but... Fine, let's hear it. I won't interrogate you about how you have access to things that even us Inquisitors don't know. At least, not right now. Ferro Muerto, Dead Lighthouse, that's her village name. Somewhere, a little ways off from the coastline, there's an intact eye of Iberia on the sea. It was almost destroyed when the profound silence swept through. Off the coastline? Isn't it not connected to the land? I think it used to be until it sank. We should be able to procure ourselves enough wood and material from the village to build a raft. Hello, Shady Tricks. Wouldn't it be too late now to build a raft and to catch up to them? Wait, why are the sinners catching up to them? This is the Inquisition's job. Is it near enough for a raft to be means of access? Why are we chasing after them? We have our own goals here. Even you? You're going to trust the Ager? I don't see why I shouldn't. I understand that Iberian mistrust of the Ager is quite profound. Yet such sentiment is hollow to the rest of us. Inquisitor Irene, what did you feel when you saw the Rhodes Island operator? If you're talking about the Goddess, nothing in particular, other than a slight annoyance when she accused me of being inhumane. Are you just gonna row the raft to catch the ship? Yeah, it's such a like how it's a raft, a tiny wooden raft versus a ship. So you didn't harbor any hostility nor disgust. Not that you would have felt any sense of sympathy or empathy either. You needed the ship to do that. That's true. Are we gonna catch up to the ship though? I thought I have no history of feelings for or against the Ager. Such must be the same for the outsiders. What's she on about? She's conveying that in matter in regards to mayors, our opinions are more objective than Irene's. Finding the vessel Fabius commandeered would be of benefit to all. Limbus Company will gain an opportunity to return to the city via the dimensional door, while Rhodes Island would have chance to study it at a closer proximity. And the Inquisition will gain possession of the vessel in which the technology from the Iberian Golden Age is contained. What? You're going to just hand that over to the Inquisition? Why should we convey it once it's what was once Iberia's? You have to go to sleep now. Good night, Every. Sweet dreams. While there certainly are aspects to the vessel that draw interest, I already have a state-of-the-art masterpiece known as Mephistopheles. As long as that can be guaranteed, I see no reason to refuse. Irene eventually agreed to put her trust in mayors. We're in luck, Executive Manager. It is quite fortunate that our interests aligned exactly with that of the first strangers we encountered in a strange land. Lucky is right. Imagine if we were back in the city. It would have taken them like 3-4 free distortion hunts for us to come to this agreement. Presumably we have operators that can swim insanely well, ambush the ship like Scotty. That is true. Are we gonna get more pistol hunters? I wonder. Do you think Ishmael can swim as fast as Scotty? Sorry, but having to schedule you with this mayor's, please lead us to the lighthouse. Okay, happily. So when you said almost destroyed, how about almost destroyed, is it? I heard that the light faded from the lighthouse a long time ago, but the shape still stands, at least it was, when he saw it a few months ago. If the lighthouse is in an inoperable state, we're going to need an expert technician to get it back in working order. The technology it is based on is completely divorced from the popular applications of Originium technology, so I doubt that there's anyone out there who can work on it anymore. Then, you needn't worry about that. Here, you have an engineer and a researcher who are geniuses, even amongst those in the city, so we should be able to manage most mechanical failures. Today is just a revelation after revelation, huh? I can vouch for Limbus Company's skills. I can also work on the simpler tasks. I've learned a thing or two helping out Gramps. Stuff about the lighthouse or various tech stuff. If I was Mayors, I'd be bawling my eyes out right now. My family left me here all by myself. Well, we should all head to the lighthouse together? No, I'll be leaving this group for a moment. Amiya will accompany you instead. What? After all that, you're just going off on your own? Yes, to join the doctor. It is imperative for the successful execution of this mission. Do we get to see him soon? Of course, that hinges on Amiya and Scotty remaining behind to assist the rest of you. Thus, I will leave it to the rest of you to take the Eye of Iberia, the lighthouse, back. Wait, what do you mean, take back the lighthouse? Is there someone or something out there that's taken over the lighthouse called the Eye of Iberia? Not that they are tentacle creatures. That's true. A likely supposition. Amiya, what did the manager of Limbus Company say? They're asking if the lighthouse has been taken over by something. Not a bad intuition. Yes, there's a high likelihood that the structure has already been overrun by sea terrors. I don't know about overrun, but I've encountered them a few times when we approached it too closely. Normally, this is hardly enough personnel to attempt a raid on the lighthouse, but answer me this. Are there any limitations to the revival? There are no restrictions as long as Dante, the manager, survives. However, do note that battle efficiency depreciates with prolonged battle due to mounting mental stress on the manager. No need to change the plan then. Amiya, use this communicator to alert me as soon as you're able to identify the coordinates of the vessel from the lighthouse. If luck would have it, we should be able to reduce the time it takes to complete the retrieval mission. Okay, as long as you're not taking everyone with you. If it's just her who's leaving, then go ahead. I think we should be fine too. Then let us commence mission Vessel Masses Retrieval. Righto, step 1 of the plan's raft, right? Let's get on with it. It's done. Let's go. What? Why are you looking at us like that? Is there something bothering you? Must you ask? Just look how proactive and quick she is to jump into action. Certainly lives up to the image of an employee working for a large corporation. Thanks, Artis, for that charitable view, I guess. Thanks to Scotty, who has already finished the first step of the plan, we're able to move on to step 2 immediately. Sounds British as always, Heath. Alright, well, that's it for the stream. I am gonna go grab some lunch. Hello, yams. I'll see you on TFT. Hi, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for keeping me company as I read through the Limbus Arknights collab. I never really expected this collab at all. It's really fun because I started playing Limbus Company because I was like, I love Arknights. And I was like, I need to look for another game that was like Arknights. Something similar. And I remember going on like Reddit of all, of all like places. And people were like, if you like Arknights story, you might like Limbus Company. And here we are. Limbus Company was my first stream ever. You did what? I did what? I play Limbus Company and Arknights? Or are you talking about TFT? Good night, Ark and Arknights. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see who is streaming today. We're gonna raid into someone on Twitch. I'll be back tomorrow with some art streams, by the way. We're gonna be working on more commissions. Let's see here. Yum, 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 yum. A morning gorilla stream. Let's write into Casper Catacini. They just started. Alright. They're playing Megabonk. I don't think we've ever raided into them before. Alright, say hello to Catboy, Red Catboy. Be nice. Be nice. Just go in with Ark Raid. Bye-bye. See you guys tomorrow. See you guys next week if you're gonna be here for more Arknights. Bye! Bye! Yeah, be very nice, because I've never raided to them before and I don't know what it's gonna be like. I'm being very serious. Being really serious right now. Okay, bye! Bye! Have a great day!